Can an artist call out another artist for doing fan art of their fan art? Welcome everybody to the dark topic. So I thought this was kind of very interesting. So it's sort of like tracing. I guess that's kind of like the talking points lately, but it's like sort of different. An artist did a art piece based on Inkley's Splatoon Nintendo, but they did like their own style, their own character, I guess in that realm. But an artist who liked it so much decided to do a 3D version of it. So here it is, the original tweet right here, guys. So here it is. The Quiet Mango did an Inkling model out there by fan art at USA 371076992. It's a Blender, exploit B3D. I don't know what that means exactly, but also exploit Splatoon. So here it is right here, guys. I would showcase the original, but they actually end up deleting it because they were like, you know what? I don't really want to deal with this with the artist complaining because they said I haven't given permission. So this is where it all came from, pretty much the debate. Does the artist need permission to draw fan art of fan art? And that's an interesting question. Do they? So here it is, the original tweet right here. It says, telling others they need permission to make fan art for you is nuts. My final 2 cents on this as well is understandable to want permission in the realms of an OC drawing, asking others for permission to draw fan art of of fan art, sorry. It's crazy in itself when they don't even own it either. And this is coming from someone who mainly draws fan art. So this is kind of like their art style, by the way. Lalo's art style, which is pretty cool, cute, you know, the whole shebang. And that got me really thinking, huh? Should artists need to ask permission to draw fan art or fan art? Because the original fan art artist is not really asking the original creators permission to draw their character even in a different style. Now, granted, I will say on the defense of USA, because I like to keep it fair as much as I can and bring a little argument. Just a little bit of argument right here. And this one right here, guys, it looks like it is a trace compared to the original, or the original piece that they created. And as you can see, like the tentacles are exactly the same, hand, face, everything's pretty much the same. So that is somewhat of an argument, I guess you could say. But it looks like they're just doing it for fun. They're not doing it like for malice intent or salad or anything like that. So personally, I don't think that would have been. I don't think that would have been a big deal. I think that would be fine. That's just free promotion in my opinion, and that's just let the artist have fun with the piece. You know, that's just me. So actually, I am not the only person who agrees with them, but I want to bring in a person who actually agrees with USA to get the perspective. So here it is right here, this tweet by CEO of, yeah. Honestly, I don't think USA is wrong about this, not because it's a Inkling fan art, but because the 3D pose and everything is one-on-one copy from the pic USA made. Even if the credit is due, it is a fan art. It would have been better for the 3D artist to ask beforehand. People will have come to me asking permission to use my work as their base to trace or reference, and I usually allowed it because they asked. Hell, I would even I wouldn't ask people whenever I do a fan art of the work, even if not OC, just inspired by the work. Probably because it's polite to do so and prevents stuff like this from happening. I'm gonna go a little bit lower, guys. Uh, is this also jarring to see people's work be literal one-on-one traits of my work, post an angle, even a text is different character at times? But have the comments to be pointed out being for being original, even if they clarify that it's inspired by the art I made, which they usually don't. It usually rubs me the wrong way. USA had also had an imposter syndrome like a couple days ago, so this definitely didn't help at all. I see where they're coming from. I understand what they're coming from. It could be annoying, but it's like there is always problems with credits in general, right? You know what I mean? Like there's always problems in general when people use other people's artwork for their own post to clickbait for things that are trending and they don't even credit the original artist. That is a problem. That sucks. The same thing here. Same thing we use with references. I mean, but there's so many people that use like references and they're like credit every single one of them. Like when you post a picture, you gotta tag every single one reference they use. So it's like I understand it will get a little bit crazy, but in this case, they did credit the artists. They did at them, and they just did it for fun. They didn't use it for to sell it or make a VTuber or anything like that. They just They just did it for fun. But guys, here's the kicker. You see this artwork right here? It's not USA. Nope. It's not even USA's artwork. Actually, it's Quiet Mango's artwork. Model after fan art by USA. So what do I mean by that? Well, this is USA's Inkling. So what Mango did, they copied the style of the of USA's character Inkling fan art. So they didn't copy their artwork at all. So it wasn't 1-to-1. It was, oh, I like the design. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna redraw it in my style, inspired by theirs, and make it into 3D. So if that is the case, USA is completely wrong. Because here's the tweet from Cryptid Wicked. That's not USA's Inkling drawing. Mango's Inkling drawing is just using AA's art style. This is USA's Inkling. So there you go. It's actually not USA's. It's just the style, which is a cool style, cool character. Don't get me wrong. And CEO was this, which again, guys, I'll post a tweet here so you guys can read it too. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, it could have been avoided if they just asked by DM, which my personal opinion, you don't need to, because you're using that as a reference, as a inspiration, and they credit them. I don't think you have to ask permission for a fan art of a fan art personally. But yeah, I thought this was posted by Mango, was USA's work in his 3D scope. Sadly, not all users know to DM an artist for a fan art, since most fan art are done with surprise in mind. But oh wow. So that's the thing, like that comes where it becomes a little bit clutter. Is should artists need to ask permission to get inspired, not copy by, not trace, inspired by a fan art of a fan art? I know it's weird saying it, but let me know. I'm very curious. Personally, for me, I don't think so because you're just using inspiration of an inspiration kind of thing. It really does depend on certain aspects of certain things. But because this is an Inkling based on Splatoon, it is fan art at the end of the day. And the thing is, fan art is always a muddy thing. It's not black and white. It's always gray. The reason why is because some people excuse certain things. Some people don't excuse certain other things. Not that long ago, I made an art topic about an artist who does exactly like Pokemon art style. And I even asked the question in that video, is this okay? So I'm just asking, is this okay? Like, do the artists need to credit the other artists if they get inspired by the fan art of the fan art? So I'm still scrolling around and I'm trying to find like the people who oppose with it because I feel the artists, even if they don't want someone to intimidate, like make art based on their design, I feel like it's very polluted because it's fan art. Again, I feel like a lot of people will disagree with me with that, maybe. But here is actually someone who actually pretty much agrees with USA's reaction. So they said they always had in the bio to not imitate or nor trace their artworks. This implies that they don't want their artworks to be replicated in any way, 3D or digitally. It remains an imitation, and I don't understand why it's so hard for people to respect that. There's a clear misunderstanding between IP rights and creative boundaries. Nintendo tolerates fan art, but copying specific fan art is different. The creative expression belongs to the artist. Asking not to imitate it isn't hypocritical. It's about respecting boundaries. And yes, it implies you can cross them if you want to because it doesn't have any legal repercussions. But does that mean a simple request cannot be respected, or that the person who asked is to blame for getting upset? I don't get it. So, in my opinion, is I think people are criticizing the original, I guess you could say the artist, because the person who made the 3D version of it used their design inspired and redrew it in their own style, in their own way they could, and then made it into a 3D format. So they didn't use their specific art, like they didn't just got copy paste the art, put it in Blender, and just went over it and made it into a 3D object. They didn't do that. They made their own based on the design they saw, and they kind of made their own outlines and stuff like that. And that's why it feels really weird for asking that. She is right. Technically, if the artist asks that, but if people don't want to respect that, it is what it is. That's the harsh life of about being an artist, especially if you're not working with original IP. If you're not working with original characters, it is a crazy, crazy world because there's a lot of people that take inspiration from other people's fan art and create it their own way. It happens a lot. Now, I know she's arguing about the it's unethical, but at the end of the day, they may not like it, but it's all fair game at the end of the day. I'm sorry to say that. I am not like, saying they really like disrespect them on purpose. Clearly, Mango did not disrespect the artist on purpose. They just like, oh, I like this. Let me see what I could do with this and credit G3D and credit them. You know how many artists don't get credit? A lot of them. Also, I found this tweet right here. Whoa, that went a little bit weird. But I found this one right here. It says, someone using your publicly posted work as a template or outline for a fan art design that you're not trying to sell is perfectly fine. Is what they straight up just steal it. The art is the problem. That's like being an outline artist and getting mad someone used some of your outlines. It's Splatoon fan art. Making a 3D model of it is just much of stealing as the original is stealing from Nintendo. See, that's what I mean. It's all muddy. There's no winner here, by the way. USA is not a winner. Mango is not a winner. There's no winning this argument. Fan art will always be muddy, man. It will always be great with 50 Shades of Grey at this point. You know why? Because there's always people excusing something and then they're not excusing another thing. And this is why I'm working on a bigger art topic about the resolves around fan art, or like pretty much this, because it resolves around, is it okay to do it in this medium, but it's not okay to do it in this medium. Oh, but it's okay for this artist to do it because it's cool, but it's not okay for this artist to do it because it's like I don't like them. You know what I mean? And this is why this video is pretty much important for me to make, because I want people's opinions. I want this out. I'm gonna leave my main opinion. I'm gonna say my main opinion here. If you're a fan art artist and you post your artwork publicly, it will be heavily references. It's very possible. Now, there's a right way of doing it and there's a wrong way of doing it. If you know where the original artist comes from, you might as well credit them. Like, hey, I got inspired by doing this. I done it myself. I got inspired by this artist. I tag them on Instagram, or I tag them whenever I find them. Now, do I do it all the time? No, I'm because I can't find original artists all the time, and that is perfectly fine as long as I don't copy everything they do, because I do my own IP characters. I have my own designs. I'm on my own thing. Or I draw a different character based on the idea that I got from what I saw. That's literally the whole point of making it different and making it yours. So for this artist to be mad, that's one thing. That's perfectly fine. If that's how they feel, they're entitled to feel however they want. But they cannot stop other people from taking their design and changing it up and then doing their own way of a fan art, because at the end of the day, no one owns fan art. No one can copyright fan art to a certain point. That's how the world works. At the end of the day, we could all get sued for making fan art. So here is the response of the artist right here even further. Show respect, because again, Mango said, I thought it was just showing respect because I tagged you and all that. Then you should have asked me if he/she can be made into a 3D model using my art style. I wanted to hear that word first. No, they don't. I'm sorry to say that again. I hate. They probably. I understand why they hate it, but they do not need to ask that. I'm sorry. They just don't. I very disagree with that. Even right here, it says profile imitation. Please do not use my illustration for AI. I understand that. I get it. But again, fan art is so muddy, man. And they didn't copy their art, by the way. They look at their art and they create it in their own way, in their own art style. So that's the problem right there. This is very hypocritical. You don't ask permission to draw art characters that other people own, but other have to ask permission to create 3D models based off your art. That's not fair. Please take a break from the internet and take some breaths. That's pretty much what it is. Like I said, people are gonna be arguing against it. People are gonna be with it. People are going to agree. People are just going to disagree. This is a talking point that everybody's going to have one side or the other, left or right. There's not going to be no winners whatsoever. This is something I also want to talk about, guys. This is like people are just arguing back and forth. Like I said, this is never a right answer. But in this one, it's pretty much like they're saying pretty much Japan has certain rules, US has certain rules, everybody in the world has certain rules and say, oh, this side said it's okay. Japan sees it as an insult, right? So, like I said, it's watery. I've been saying the same thing, but this is the internet. Anything goes on the internet, right or wrong. That is the sad truth about the internet and social media. I'm not saying it's correct. I'm just saying, man, the internet's on hinge, bro. So I guess the sentiment is kind of going everywhere, which I totally forgot about that. But it says I read somewhere to never add Japanese artists when you do fan art based on their art. They find it extremely disrespectful or prefer not to know about it. That makes it even worse. So this person made fan art of Nintendo's IP, but gets upset when someone is inspired by their work. Lack of self-awareness pisses me off genuinely. So yeah, I totally forgot about that. You're not supposed to add the Japanese artists because they will find it offensive, even though a lot of people won't, because they credit them like, hey, I got the idea from here. I didn't copy their art, but I got the idea from here. So, god damn, man, I can't believe this actually became a thing. And this is I will be making a video about this, guys, in a future video of our topic, pretty much about fan art. I'm gonna break it down into so many pieces from like different mediums, different people using fan art, to copying, to tracing, like so many things I'm gonna break down in that video. But yeah, this one's gonna be like a little bit somewhat quick. And yeah, I just want to share this with you guys. What do you guys think? Did the artist deserve to be called out, or is the original artist kind of going too crazy? So let me know. All right, peace out, myself, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Whoop. Yeah.